Gulf of Thailand Grizzlies. And we're off. Got myself a nice little e-bike. I haven't put the E on yet. That's the electric battery gone. Hello Grizzlies. We've moved from the W Hotel, a luxury resort I was in. The wedding gang, the guys, they've all left Koh Samui today. They've headed up to Bangkok, so back up north. And they're all staying there for a few days of varying time frames, some a couple of days, some a bit longer. And of course I could have gone back with them, but I decided not to book a return flight from Koh Samui before coming here for the reason of what's happened. I've got here. We've had a great 4 or 5 days here. We did the full moon party. And then, of course, we went to the resort and did stuff at the private beach and around there. And the wedding, which is fantastic. But then outside of that, I haven't done anything on the island, which would be a real shame if I now left, especially going back to like Bangkok, a city, without seeing more of the island. I had a feeling I'd think like that. And that's why I didn't book a return flight. And I'm glad. So the guys have gone. And, of course, they invited me. And it's a shame to see them go and not be with them for some more time to do stuff. But I did owe it to myself to get out and explore the island a bit more. So I've moved around the southeast from where we were in the W down to Chaweng Noi, I think it's pronounced, which is a bit further down from Chaweng, which is the main hub, I guess, a nightlife spot as well. So I'm a bit isolated from there, which is fine because I'm coming here to go clubbing or partying, and found myself another beachfront resort. It's not on the level of the W, and there were cheaper options and there were a lot more expensive options. And I thought I'd go in the middle because I wanted it, is because it's beachfront. Right? We've got the restaurants and the bar of the hotel resort there, and this is their private beach. I'm assuming they don't own the beach. Anybody can walk up and down it. And it's not as secluded as the W one. So anyone could just walk from the other beach over there because there's hotels lining up. But I guess they've claimed this one. And why would you come to this one if you were in a hotel just up there? Because it's not like a big town behind it where everyone could come from the town. It's just this one road. High features that side. Sea this side. And then hotels. So each of it's got its own, I guess, claimed bit of territory on the beach. So I went for that one. It's just, again, it's a stone's throw. You walk out of the room, come past the swimming pool, and you get the beach. So in the morning, you can just come running down, get straight in the sea. And in the evening as well, you can cool off, have a dip in it, and you don't have to traipse all your stuff over the distance back to the hotel. You can just walk straight back to your room. It was about £50 a night, which I guess for Thailand it's not cheap. I don't know, because I got no other reference apart from the W and Pattaya. So just by going off what I saw on the website, it weren't the cheapest one. It was a step up because it's got the beachfront location. So we went for that. I wasn't we all like saving money, but I wasn't scrimping and saving. And I know it's taboo and crass to talk about finances and money and things like that. But I guess if you have been watching the videos and following me this year, Portugal, Brazil, USA, you are going to be wondering, well, what budget is he on? What kind of traveller is he? What's his circumstances? You've got a little bit of it in my background. So I guess it helps paint a picture of when you're watching things to know where I'm coming at it from, when I'm booking things and when I'm going on tours, eating out, spending money. And when I am with it is, I'm obviously not a backpacking budget, a gap year student traveller, clearly. I'm sure that comes across in a lot of the videos because there's a load of them out there. If you are after that, then there's loads of informative narrative on doing that type of tour. If I want to spend a little bit more on something, I can. And then the other end of the scale, I'm not some sort of loaded, rich playboy who could just spend money and not think about it and hasn't got a care in the world. Easiest way to describe it, I guess, is by paying a little bit more for something out here, or going, oh yeah, do you know what, I am going to spend a bit more on that today than I normally would, is going to leave me struggling to pay my mortgage at the end of the month. Right? I've been sensible and wise enough throughout my years with the Marines to save money, not rack up debt. I got no credit cards or personal loans or finance on vehicles or anything apart from my mortgage, which is manageable. It's a good position to be in. I got my pension from the Royal Marines, so that's some money going in each month, and my savings, of course. So we all like saving money, and we all, well, not all, some people love just spending money, don't they? They're spending money that they haven't got or they can't afford, or they're really pushing it. Okay, I'm not like that. I will watch my money, I will manage it. But if I want something, and by having it, it's not going to make me struggle to pay my mortgage at the end of the month, then I'm going to have it. So that's where we're at the minute. That is a battle though, because I come from very basic beginnings, lived in a council estate in Swansea, South Wales, was in the Marines, right? Lived a very austere, robust life. That's still in me. And not just from that, we're all different. We all inherit certain ways. Of course, my grandparents were the Second World War era. Okay, my grandfather served on the Lancaster bombers in the Second World War. Okay, rationing, and then of course the hard times coming back from that. That was their way of life, which of course would have filtered down a little bit into my parents and onto me as well. But I'm just naturally like that anyway, where I don't like spending to excess or materialistic things that I don't really need. We'll do it now and again. Yeah, fancy that, so I'm gonna have it. Like these $4 elephant shorts. Not quite. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of, puts a little bit of meat on the bones and substance to the whole picture of my travels and my adventures. Hotel's all right. The room isn't great. It's decent size. Got 2 beds in there. It hasn't, well, I was going to say it hasn't got a view, but it has, of like the jungle on the other side. It hasn't got a sea view. That doesn't mean it hasn't got a view. Right? So it's all right. It's got a bit of, it's not looking at a building site or a brick wall. It's got a bit of greenery. So I'm happy with that. And it's good in a way, because then it doesn't tempt you to stay in there too long. I'll sit in the balcony because there's a nice view, whatever. Gets you out of there and come down to the beach or go for a walk. And a full day, all right. So tomorrow, I've looked into like a bike tour, tagging on one of them, but I think it's too short notice. So I'm probably going to go and find an e-bike, hire it for the day myself, and then just go out and try and explore the south part of the island and go and find some nice viewpoints and great scenery down that way. Right, it's sunburnt today, which is no surprise to anyone. I sat by the reception before we checked out in the little pool area thing that you're not allowed to go into. I got kicked out of yesterday or the day before. 20 minutes, but it was midday as well. So it was just direct onto me, and this is the worst I've burnt so far. Feeling a bit sluggish now. Hello, reception? Yes. I'd like to request some more pillows, please. Yeah, there's definitely not enough. Definitely not enough. Good morning, Grizzlies. Today I've decided, because my room is merely meters from the sea, I'm going to start my day in the best possible way. And that is a dip in the sea. Little day out today for the Lone Wolf. Going to get myself an e-bike and have a little adventure on the island. Don't know where I'm going, what I'm doing. We'll soon find out. Had a bit of a false start for the first place I went to, which I'll elaborate on in a bit when we get on the bike. We'll do a little update while we're in motion. But in short, bloke was a bell end, one interested. So I was like, and he didn't have any e-bikes despite it being advertised. So I mugged that off. Head into this place, which is E-Revolution. So yeah, look forward to it. It's a hot one. Got the Factor 50 on today, and I brought it with me as well to reapply. And we're off. Got myself a nice little e-bike. I haven't put the E on yet. Just want to get a little bit of exercise out of this. Plus, he said he's got a range of about 30 or 40 kilometers, which probably means 20 to 25 in real time. So I don't want to burn that out now while I'm all fresh. Then when I'm hanging out later on, sweating my tits off, sweaty, sunburned, hanging out on my hoop, it then cuts out and I got to put in the extra work, so I'm insensible for once. Yeah, so went to Samui GoPro cycle hire first. I've had to get 2 taxis to get to this one. It's cost me about 20 quid in taxis already. This is a nightmare. I mean, I booked a resort that's off the beaten track, right on the beach. But what am I going to do? Just sit on the beach because I don't want to spend £20 on a taxi. It's just money, innit? And I'm going to try and book excursions as well, which will then just pick me up from that resort. So it's not a drama, really. So I went to that cycle place, approached it, and I got a bad feeling straight away. Some fat old Aussie bloke sat out the front. Didn't even acknowledge me straight away. I sort of had to say hello. He's like, yeah, so I want a bike. He like surprised and shocked that somebody turned up asking for a bike. So I was looking around, I was like, well, this is a bike hire. He was like, well, for how long? I was like, well, today. And he just from the off, he just seemed, he weren't interested. He weren't interested in me. It's like, isn't it your job to hire bikes out to people? And I was like, have you got any e-bikes? He's like, no. So I said, okay, well, I wanted an e-bike, but manual it is. What kind of area, realistically, could you cover around here and get out and see things on a manual with the type of terrain, roads, and area we've got? So realistically, what could he cover? He's like, well, depends, innit? If you're like a 100-year-old bloke, then you're not going to get very far. I said, yeah, I'm obviously not a 100-year-old bloke, mate. You can see what kind of condition I'm roughly in. Again, what would the average person realistically look to be able to cover on one? Oh, again, it just depends what you want to see and what you want to do. I'm on an island, mate. I want to see some fucking sights. What the f*** do you think I want to see? Like dual carriageways or something? Like, is this guy f***ing mental? Obviously, just what sights there are around here. You must know if you hire bikes out to people. Surely you advise them. Well, yeah, I just don't know if we got anything. There's 12 bikes all lined out. And he's like, the size. Oh, I said, mate, I'm not 6'4". Those seats are adjustable as well. They'll be fine. Yeah, but once somebody's coming to pick one up in a bit, and then I might leave myself short. Well, the bike's there to be hired out or to just be there just in case they get hired out. I don't understand what the business model is here. He just said for whatever reason, he couldn't be asked, and I couldn't be asked. I was like, do you know what, mate? Don't worry about it. Is there an e-bike place? Yeah, I looked it up. It's about 10 kilometers away, so I had to get another taxi. I was like, yeah, forget about it, mate. See you later. Just absolute dickhead. So if you're looking at bikes and stuff out here, avoid Samui GoPro Cycle Centre. I'm after the bike.
Sorry?
I'm after the bike.
Motorbike?
No, bicycle.
How long for?
Just today.
Same day?
Yeah. So I got no real plan here, to be honest. I've just had a quick look on Google Maps. There looks like a lookout point on the coast, south of where I am. A bit further in, not quite jungle and hills, but we are more in the interior of the island. So I'm just going to head down to that viewpoint, have a look around, and then that's going to be the theme. I'm just going to identify somewhere, get to it, reassess, and keep bouncing around till I run out of time, energy, or defenses against the sun, or battery on the bike. I will see where we end up. Catching this dude up, yeah? First little stop, Bangkok. There's a little reggae bar grill, and I think there's a small resort there. And this little inlet for boats to head out into the sea. Got Teen Island just over behind me there as well. A cracking little vantage point here, and deserted, pretty much. Not a lot going on down here, so it's be a cracking little spot if you wanted to come and get away from everyone. And this, I mean, these are the island views I've been looking for, man. Stunning, beautiful sea, and again those rocky outcrops covered in jungle just sprouting up from the sea. Right, magnificent. So off the beaten track now, gone off-road as well, so there's a little bit of slip slide on the tyres and the bike, which is all good, but it's great. I mean, look at that, absolute paradise. And yeah, a route not many, there's a little cyclist there, look. A route not many people come down, I'd imagine. And this is the type of day out I live for, guys. Just getting a bike, heading out, lone wolf, or in a group. Generally I'm on my own though, on these trips. And just getting out, exploring, finding the little nooks and crannies of places and seeing stuff like that. Quite simple, man, in many ways. Give me a bike, give me a coastline and some rough routes to follow and tracks, and I am content. Lone Wolf is upsetting the locals again. I tried to cycle down towards this statue thing, started clapping at me. I had to park my bike. It's fair enough. So I parked it. Yeah, so down on the south of the island, you got Koh Tan or Koh Teen. Not 100% sure of the pronunciation. Just behind me over there, stunning view of that. And then we got this religious, I'm gonna say Buddha type temple feature behind me. I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying to pronounce it. I'll put it up on screen of how it's spelt. And it, again, this is, I've only just started my cycle really, and this is it in all the spots already. It's exactly the type of thing I want to see. Beautiful, clear sea, stunning tropical islands, sunshine, although that's going to be my enemy by the end of the day. Suck it up, haven't I? Sitting in the shade all week. We got Thong Krut Pier just behind me, and we're even closer to those islands. Again, magnificent views here. Very tranquil, doesn't seem like overly touristy or trashy. It's the paradise it was hyped up to be. Found a little cafe slash restaurant called 9 Point. It's down towards the southwest, I guess, of the island, and it's located in like an inlet bay. And wow, look at that. Reminds me a little bit like a tropical Barafundle Bay in West Wales. Smaller scale, and of course more tropical scale. Sunset from here, being on the southwest, I imagine it'll be absolutely stunning. What a tranquil little spot. Another little taste of paradise. Mind-blowingly beautiful. And I know that most of the built-up areas on the island are the eastern side, Chaweng Beach, things like that. Don't really know why. Maybe because of the terrain they did that, or maybe there's a historical reason because of fishing trade or something. But for me, the western side is absolutely stunning. I mean, it's stunning on the other side as well. Not that it isn't, but this is knocking spots off it for me. With the scenery, the water, and how tranquil it is. And I know you got the sunrise on the eastern side. That sunset is where it's at, isn't it? For all of us, surely. And I was thinking that when I was across that side, I was like, why is everything over here? Because most of us humans go for the sunset, don't we? And it's going to be magnificent over this side. I saw a clip of it in the W, although we weren't quite on the western side. But over this way, it's just going to be amazing. Loving this side of the island. It's got those winding, dusty roads, with the palm trees either side, greenery. You can hear the jungle, fairly quiet traffic-wise. The one from a big hotel just beeped at me. And it's got those little shacks that I rave about and love from like Central and South America and Brazil, where you're just going along a dusty track, winding through jungle, and then you get these little shacks with little plastic chairs outside and a little Coca-Cola sign and drink signs, and you just sit there, like trees with flowers all over them, and just relax in that little dusty shack. Hi, how's it going? Like that one. It hasn't got those sort of red bricks and roofs and stuff that they've got over there quite a lot, but they are still very similar in their looks. They look so basic, but so like inviting and refreshing. I know, maybe I got a bit of a fetish for them or something. I'm always banging on about them, but they just, very emotive to me. Remind me of, I guess, my time in the Marines, where we'd have visits to places like that, and then when we'd get a little bit of downtime, we'd go and sit in these little cafes and have a refreshing soft drink and have that moment just to relax and take it all in. So it does bring back those memories for me, and it's a very simple thing, but I love them. I love seeing them. I think e-bike is definitely the way forward around the island. It's, as long as you're economical with it, turn it off when you don't need it. Like mine, it's off now. And when there is like a steep hill, because you want to conserve energy and not be sweating your tits off too much, and get a bit of a sweat on, but not too much. And then when I've picked up my route in between viewpoints that I want to see. There's a long stretch of road, open, it's a wide road, nothing much to see. In that case, then you can slam on the motor, turn it up, and you can just get from A to B a lot quicker, and then spend more time going on the little roads and the viewpoints and the beaches. So definitely worth getting an e-bike. As long as you're economical with it, you can make it last quite a while, and then utilize it, like I said, to maximize getting between A to B in a straight line, so then you can enjoy the more tranquil, quiet, windy roads. Got a little horn bell on this, which is quite good, but also the place it's located is, I keep catching it by mistake. Like that's it. And it sounds more like a bloody scooter or a car horn, a small car. Sounded kind of like an electric smart car would sound like, I'd imagine. And I keep pressing by mistake. I think someone's beeping their horn at me. Like, what are they beeping at? It's not, it's me. Down at Nathong Beach on the western side of Koh Samui. There's a passenger ferry port just over there. I think I'm going to start heading towards the interior of the island now, catch a couple of waterfalls. Although the guy at the bike place told me not to bother because there wouldn't be any water. And we'll have a look. It'd be different at least, wouldn't it? A waterfall without any water. And it makes sense really, rather than going, I'm going to have time before I have the bike back to go all the way around the other side and down the east and back in. So rather than going back the same direction that I came up the coast, the west coast, I headed towards the interior, catch a couple of high features in sort of the jungle spots and the dry waterfalls, and then head back down into the bike place from there. There's a not very nice, busy road getting into this beach here, which wasn't a very, very enjoyable cycling down, but it's got to be done. And I'm going to have to go back down there as well for a section of it before then hooking off into the interior. And up a couple of jungle mountain paths. The restricted area checkpoint. So it looks like that's the end of that. Got to go back on that bastard main road now. He waved me through, which is happy days. However, this hill's looking pretty cheeky, and the electric battery's just gone from half to red quickly. So might have a bit of work on my hands if it goes. Well, that's the electric battery gone. I only just started climbing the hill. So the decision is, go back down and take that main road back to the bike shop, or keep going up, not really knowing how far up is. So I guess I'm gonna look like a bit of an idiot if I now go back down the hill to that straight road, when all I ever say to people is, if you're gonna be a bear, you may as well be a grizzly. So up it is, good buddy. And the chains come off. Where's a professional bicycle mechanic when you need one? Right, this is no longer an e-bike. It's just a bike. Battery's gone, about halfway, 2/3 of the way up that hill. And I'm not sure if that's, I mean, it can't be. I've got loads to go before I get to like the middle of the island. So I'm assuming I'm still on the way up, which is not ideal. Just 33 degrees today. Don't know what that is in Fahrenheit for all you Fahrenheiters, but it's hot. And I guess all that training in hot countries when I was a Royal Marine is now coming in handy. And yeah, it's going to be a bit of a work. I've only got an hour before I need to drop it back, so I don't think there's going to be much time for sightseeing. If there is an opportunity to, I think I've just got to make it back now in one piece. Survival mode. Just handed the bike back, and I thought I'd signed out a bike today. Apparently I signed out a fucking epic. As I started climbing up the jungle roads up towards the waterfalls and viewpoints, the battery, electric bike, went from half full to red, then zero rapidly. And I mean, those roads would be hard enough if you were on a road bike, like without electric, just a manual road bike, or any just manual clean fatigue bike. But a mountain bike with a dead electric battery, so you've got the extra weight and the friction and drag, hard work, especially in the heat. 33 degrees today. I've been slapping on the factor 50 about 3 times. I reapplied today. Hopefully that saved me enough, but I didn't do it towards during the last hour or so, because I was just going like that, sweating out of my hoop. Yeah, and then midway up to the high features, sort of like a roller coaster. Then as soon as I thought, oh, it's a nice downhill stretch now, it soon went back up again. But it's all good. It's all fizz in the bag, innit? Didn't see much sights in the last bit of it, honestly. I didn't have time. I had to get it back by 5 as well. So it was just, once the battery went, I was like, just get off this feature, just get off the high feature, back down to the town and get it handed back in. Absolutely can't wait to get back to the hotel and jump in that pool, because I am red as. Also was going to give the bike a little review, as always. I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. Until I started going down those big steep hills, and like the brakes worked to some degree, but it didn't, when it was really steep, it didn't pull you to a complete stop. Even when you were going, you slowed right down. I slowed right down coming down the hill, and it was slowing me, but you couldn't get to a complete stop on them. So of course then on the downhills I had to rein it in a little bit and not go flying down there too much, because if I had to stop, I wouldn't have been able to. Or if I had, dodge a car, or end up with an Ecuador situation when I got smacked off by one overtaking another one, broke my collarbone. So we didn't want to know one of those situations manifesting. Other than that, it was all right. The bike. Okay. It's pretty old. They make the battery. I was just talking to the guy who owns the place, the Aussie guy. So he's just boring me to death about electric batteries, because I happened to tell him that I got a bike place back home. They make them themselves and then bolt them on. They weren't busy in there, and I think they've given me like a substandard one as well, because the battery just died. Because I was being very economic with it, not turning it on and when I didn't need it, and only putting it on a couple of levels up rather than blasting it on full strength all the time. And I really don't think I got much more than an hour's worth of assistance out of it, which is not great. It only cost 250 baht. Saying that's about a fiver, isn't it? It was more, 6 quid. Like that. And I gave him 300 because obviously he didn't have any change. But a tidy little day out, saw some sights, saw part of the island. and got a bit of a workout out of it as well. So we can't complain too much. Taxis are having my pants down, man. It's only sort of downside to being on the island, lone wolf, and not being in like a hub area. It costs me like £10-12 every time I want to go somewhere. Like there, and then £10-12 back. Stop moaning, Westy. You're a tropical island, paradise. You're bitching and moaning. Dropped my laundry off across the road from the hotel earlier, which it's the first set of laundry I've done in country. It's pretty good going, a week and a half. I washed a couple of things in the sink in the resort that I needed. Everything else can wait, because it's fine. Most stuff is just like this, isn't it? So drop that over. Yeah, because in the resort it was like $2 per item. Ridiculous. So I waited to put over there. It's 80 baht for a bag, which is beyond cheap. So I gave 100, and really humbled me going across there is went across the road, just walked up a dirt track. It's just a building with no power, open air bedroom, 2 basic beds there. It was like walking into the guy's bedroom / living room and kitchen / business. Hand him the stuff. It's like an old lady sat out overlooking the road. Humbles you a lot in a lot of ways, seeing that, just seeing how basic their life is. I don't want to come across as like, oh, look at them living in poverty or whatever. I mean, they could absolutely love that, and I could be completely wrong. And they're looking at me going, sucks to be you, mate. Come across as blasé and making assumptions that because they've been living that really basic life, they're like miserable. They didn't look miserable. But it does humble you in a lot of ways, coming from what we have back home, seeing people live in that very basic lifestyle.